Joe Biden had a horrible debate.
Yeah.
This all stems from that.
Nearly a month ago now.
And nearly a month ago, he was not able to recover. Every time he tried to do an event, it got worse. Yeah. When he did that pre-taped interview, it was one of the last things he did before COVID with BET, and he described Lloyd Austin because he couldn't think of his name as the Secretary of Defense as the black man.
Yeah, it was not good.
I was like,
I texted you that, then I said, this may be the end. After that and calling Zelensky Putin, those were like the two things that I thought, this is, and then obviously called Kamala Harris Trump. Yeah, that was like the bad day. Vice President Trump. That was the day that was hard to recover from. Now, I still was surprised to see it. And what I was surprised to see, like you said, it came out on X. It came out not on letterhead, some weird signature that doesn't even look like his signature. Yeah. It was a very odd, the entire thing was odd. Like, you're right, we haven't heard from him yet. His brother came out and said he's not doing well. Physically. I would not be at all.
His brother came back and said he's not doing well physically from his COVID?
He said that we can find the exact quote, but they asked him about it, and he said that he thinks his physical and his, I think the sicknesses, I'll find it, have played into it. I truthfully believe, I'm a betting man, we have a couple weeks left of a Biden presidency.
Same here.
I think that you will have Kamala Harris as your 47th president because he will step down before, and a lot of Republicans are calling for that. I told you I was kind of mixed on it, whether I think that's a good idea or not, because what I think you're going to have the opportunity, and look, let's not put it past Democrats to how they can handle this, is then you give Kamala Harris a few months as president to run. To be president. No, yeah, to be president and to maybe stabilize things. And then what happens? Because are you going to have a situation where you get on that stage and there are a lot of people that are going to vote for her? Let's not go into this blind. I think there are some people going, we laugh it off. Now we're just she's essentially being sacrificed. It could be that way. Yeah. However, there is still a lot of people that will just see. So I told you, if they ran anyone under the age of 70, there are a lot of people that will go, okay, thank God. It's just, we need someone new and fresh. I don't love that it's her, but I don't put it past them putting the right people around her to support her. So just be careful, everybody.
Yeah, no, again, we don't know how this is all going to come down. We don't know who the VP will be. We know she's raised a lot of money, and so has the Biden campaign, and that money goes right to her. So she also benefits from all of those fundraisers. Yeah. She was the only person who could benefit from all of those fundraisers because if you would pick someone else, and if you were out there saying, well, why didn't they pick this Democrat or that Democrat? One, they still have a chance to put their name in the hat at the convention. Yeah. This is not her nomination yet, though right now,
it feels like it.
Looking pretty good for her in the month leading up to the convention, unless she has a horrendous month. But here's the problem. They have the hundreds of millions of dollars of hard dollars that we call them in the bank. When you do that, if you were to both leave the race, so both Biden and Harris were out, all they could do with that money of hard dollars, which are very hard to raise because those are the ones that have the limits of $2,600, something like that per couple. Per individual, so $5,200 per couple. That's a lot to get to $200 or $300 million. Yeah. And all you can do is, if you both drop out, is you have to give that money to a super PAC, which then it becomes soft dollars and the dark money stuff. You can't just give that to a different campaign unless you're Kamala Harris and already on that campaign. So she has inherited an unbelievable amount of hard dollars. Yeah. So now Democrats fundraisers can say, let's double down because we didn't want Joe Biden. A lot of his fundraising people were saying, don't ask me for money anymore. But they've got those people's money now.
They're back. And also,
you're right.
If she picks a good running mate, that could change the game also. She picks somebody.
Take on J.D. Vance. Now she doesn't have to debate J.D. Vance.
Right.
She gets the Trump debate.
Which is a very different thing.
Very different.
Yeah. Which is almost unwinnable on both sides. I mean, let's be honest and say that Biden had a horrendous debate and President Trump had a fine debate. Like, it was fine. There was nothing, you don't really remember a lot of amazing moments.
I think the one part you remember that killed Biden was when he said, I have no idea what he just said, and neither does he.
Right. I'm saying like a zinger. It wasn't like a policy.
And the media didn't even correct him. They were agreed.
Yeah. So here, I do want to state, because we do have that quote from Joe Biden's brother, Frank. He told ABC News that his brother's decision to step out of the race
boils down while making the statement?
Boils down to his overall health and vitality and beating the genuine threat to our nation in the form of Donald Trump. So he said, again, puts it down to, he used the words health and vitality is the reasons, which is not the talking point coming from the DNC. I'm trying to see what other, he also told CBS News, selfishly, I will have him back to enjoy whatever time he has left in our lives. So, I mean, that's a pretty, that's what I'm saying. This is not what we think it is.
You think he's got hit some wall?
Something's wrong. Yeah, I believe so. I mean, again, it's all speculation, but that's a weird thing to say. That's not straight up. Again, I'm pretty much convinced that you will have a President Harris here
and I think
soon.
It's interesting, too, because of the Secret Service director having to testify today. This kind of knocked the President Trump stuff off the news for a couple days. It's back now.
Yeah, they changed the narrative for a few days, for sure. For yesterday.
Which is a weekend narrative, so it's not the most important.
Yeah. Well, I think
they maybe didn't want it to be like you said, they're not fully prepared.
No, I mean,
it's not like she came out and did an event as a candidate.
They have just slowly started to get the social media handles changed.
Really, you said she just did a White House event, but that would be normal too if the president.
We can talk about that. The White House event was very much. She went out and spoke to NCAA athletes champions. Made a very generic speech.
The president was sick. That's what you would do as vice president.
Yeah, and it was fine. There was nothing really good or bad in it.
You did say there was some cackling.
There was some, you're national champions, which means you're champions of the national. Didn't say that.
Did she really do that?
She didn't say that, but it was similar. It was kind of like that.
Do we have that, guys?
I don't know. We could probably find it. It was.
Yeah, okay, let's do it.
It was on the nose. Yeah.
I am honored to welcome all of you to the White House to celebrate the achievements of these great athletes. Every one of them is a national champion. A national champion. In America, tens of millions of people play a sport as a child, and the best of the best grow up to become national champions.
I mean, it does.
Why?
It does kind of feel.
But who wrote that? It said, you know what? Let's say the phrase, because that's what we're known for. Yeah. 3 different times when you could have said it once.
No, she said national champions or champions. Yeah, I think it was
national champions. National champions.
Every one of them is a national champion. A national champion in America, and tens of million people of children grow up to become national champions.
And what sports were these? These were the non-football?
A lot of, this was like a myriad of them. And 6 of them are Olympic athletes that were going to be going on to the Olympics. So again, I mean, it was a fine event. It was something good to have.
But she did the whole.
But she did do the
Which
thing.
is her people.
Maybe that's what she says. Maybe that's her thing.
Her thing is this.
She said the thing.
Certainly, Kamala Harris came out big in the Biden administration, had a bad of her own coming out into the Washington scene, and so far has gotten kind of Logan moved to these smaller events.
Yeah.
Like the college champions, and not, at least visibly, not very involved with significant policy.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that she has been sort of the face of, honestly, is the abortion issue. She has been the person on tour talking about abortion. So with that being such a
she's definitely going to be that
tough issue, and look, I was just in Massachusetts. I'm seeing sort of the craziness that's going on there. It is one of the top issues, especially in these liberal states. So she will have that where others do not.
Right.
So she has been on one of the top, for a Democrat, one of the top ticket items right now. So that's pretty fascinating. I did want to take a minute and look, speaking of the life issue, it is headed towards the end of our Life and Liberty Drive for the month of July. And we need you to be a part of it. We can't do this without you. Right now, all donations made to the ACLJ are doubled. And look, we're with such craziness in the news, whether that was the Trump assassination attempt, whether that was the RNC, and now this. Look, it's easy for things like the Life and Liberty Drive to kind of sneak by. And we are down. We could really use your support right now. So really, I encourage you. We only have 1 week left for this month of July, and your support is crucial for us to engage in all of our vital legal cases. We'll go through some of those a little bit later in the next segment. We can discuss all of those. Some of those are the fight for life. We are fighting the Supreme Court to defund Planned Parenthood as the what potential Harris administration will say seeks to expand abortion rights. We filed 17 lawsuits against the administration for deep state corruption. Tomorrow we are filing an amicus brief in the appeal of President Trump's New York conviction. We filed a FOIA request to the Biden-Harris Secret Service and the DHS to get answers on the security breakdown and the assassination attempt. So we are engaged in all of these issues that are happening right now, and we really could use your support. So I encourage you, go to aclj.org, become an ACLJ supporter right now. All gifts are doubled. So if you give $20, it becomes an effectively $40, and so on and so on. And so many of you become ACLJ champions, and we appreciate it. But even if you're a champion, you want to up that for 1 month, go there and make a one-time donation. We really would appreciate it. No matter who you think should be the president, not the president, regardless, the ACLJ needs to be there. We need to be there and have your voice heard.